Hi, my name is Jurgen Smits and welcome to the Decking webinar of Prodim International. In today's webinar we are going to measure and design a curved boat deck with our Proliner decking package. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to ask them in our chat. My colleagues are happy to provide you with the answers. If you would like to receive a non-binding quotation afterwards, please send us an email or give us a call. All the information you need is on our website. Here we show you our Proliner decking package. In our decking package is of course the Proliner 8XCS together with the backpack and the tripod. Also is included 2 batteries, 4 lead pods for repositioning the Proliner, the IPT stick of course, which you can use for measure around the corners, and also always in our packages is a full English training. On this sheet you will show you the shape of the boat, how we measure it. Before we start measuring, you see we're creating 3 vertical planes. We divide the planes in 3 pieces, so the bending of the boat is minimum. The first section we will mark with a blue tape, the second section also, and we place some reference points on the boat. For measuring a boat with the decking package, this should be the correct installments. We will measure it with the pointer. The contour of the Proliner is open because we close them ourselves. The compensation is on none. Multiple planes with the first contour and layer. Those are the first points we make on the plane. You will see that in the video later. And the offset of the plane. Here we start a short video. Here you see my colleague setting up the Proliner. It doesn't matter how it stands as long as it's stable. It can be placed diagonal, straight, on a table, on the tripod. With the blue tape is also easy to take off afterwards. You select your markers, you divide your shapes. In this case it will be in 3 shapes. With the blue corner you can easily place the pen in the corner, so you have 2 times exactly the same spot as a reference point. You see he's looking very well to decide where he will start his second and his third plane. It's all to do with the bending of the boat. If the boat is practically straight, you take less planes. 1 line in the front, always in the middle, because there we divide afterwards the shape. Again, the reference points. Always in the corner, because in the corner you will feel the pen touching the tape and you know exactly where it is. Starting up the Proliner, selecting which model you use, the generic 3D. On the left is your main project file. Enter the client name, your project number, whatever you like. And on the right side, the part you are going to measure. Flipping over the measuring head. First release the black button, you release the measuring pen, and then you pull out gently the pen itself, making 1 circle to calibrate the measuring head. The first points are selecting the layer. Of all those points together, the Proliner creates a 2D level. Afterwards we can measure a little higher to the back or a little lower in the front. We will position those points on the 2D level we made. So these points are projected a little higher. Here's a useful tip. You can use the remote to measure against it. for the corners you can't reach. Here you see him measuring the points a little higher. Also those points will be projected down on the 2D level. You see he measures a little further than the reference point, so you can always check on when you're in the software dividing the two planes together. You will see if it's correct, yes or no. Measuring the cutouts. The reference points, of course, because the tape is in the corner, you will feel 2 times the same spot. Take 2 points, create 1 line, that's enough for reference. You delete the first contour, first measurement is done. Saving and up to the next one. You only have to change the name because you're still in the main folder of your client or for your number. Left middle piece. 1 circle for the calibration again, and you can start measuring. Again with the first contour points for creating the 2D level. The more points, the better your average. In this part of the boat we don't have anything in the middle, so we only have the outer contour. That's also the contour that we always start with. Always first the outer lines, then if there is a cutout you measure something in the middle. If you're done, maybe some extra information if that's there, and otherwise you're finished and you go on to the next one. The same reference points again. Just following the shape of the boat. As you see, if you make a small error, you just press button 4, you go back 1 step and you measure it again. There's no hurry because the measuring is going fast enough already. 2 reference points on the left, the same on the right, so you can align them later in the software. Cleaning up the drawing, saving. Always try to flip the measuring head back. If you know the Proliner falls or if you make a mistake or anything, the Proliner is protected. You see how easy it is to set up again. Only takes a matter of minutes. Can reach all the points. Check if it's a good position for the Proliner because the line needs to be straight. Change the name again to the left front of the boat. The calibration, and you can start. Making a good average. Make sure you have all the corners of the plane and a few in the middle. And then you start again with the outer lines. If you have a curve, you take a few more points than you would take on a straight piece. You will see that if the Proliner recognizes the radius, it will automatically draw it for you. End of the line you press button 3, it's like enter, and you go on with the next line. The only thing you keep doing is press button 1, end of a line, enter the button 3. That's all. You see it takes a few more points in the corner. And on the straight, only 2 or 3. by checking on the big 8-inch screen. You can always check if you forgot something, if you measured it all, and if you measured it correctly. Measuring the reference points again, all the cutouts. Cleaning up the drawing and checking if we had everything. If we're done, we will save it. Flip the measuring head back in and then we can move it safely. The other side of the boat we will mirror it for making a short webinar instead of a very long one. Here you see our Prodim Factory about editing the measurement we just did. We start with pasting all the measurements in one drawing. We will combine it. We will use the reference points to align all the shapes. Afterwards, we can start with your decking design. First part of this is you create your parts. Afterwards, we go further with creating your cutting lines, the offset of the borders, of course. And finally, we can check the pattern of the boat. We edit the pattern, we can create the pattern, and we can align a pattern. Afterwards, if everything is finished, we go into the 3D mode. We're checking the visual of the real boat. But you will see it in the next movie. Here you see our next video. You can also see on the right, we can always take a picture of the boat. If the measuring guy is not the same as the guy who does the editing, it's easy to have a picture to know which is what on the measuring. Here is the first piece. We copy it, close the corners, make the origin of the boat, set it straight. It's easy to recognize the parts. Here he does the same. Entering the second part of the boat, you will see now he goes to reference, selecting 2 points, select the same points on the other drawing and he aligns them automatically. This line we extend, this is the heart, the center line. And now we can start almost to the next part. Select everything, copy, paste in the first one. You will move the slide a little bit to the outside. Make sure you select everything and you select the reference points again. The same at the first and the same on the first part. And you will see he aligns it perfectly. Keep repeating the same steps. Selecting everything, copy, paste, sliding it to the side. You see how fast it goes. Not difficult at all, you just keep repeating the same process over and over again. Yeah, you can check if he does it correctly, if everything is fine. You start with editing the lines. With the fillet option you see, it's a very beautiful option to create a nice shape of the line. You delete some lines, you extend some lines, and with the fillet option you create a nice flow of the line. You can select the red dots, you can extend them. You can also use the fillet. You see the deviation between them. Everything is assign it in the software. If you use the fillet, you will also see the difference between the lines, if it's acceptable between 1 or 2 millimeters maybe. You can also check if you go too far. You can see in the program we only have a few options in our software, but all the options you need are there. You will see it's almost every time the same, creating a nice line, following the shapes, closing the corners, creating a nice radius. You can extend the radius from small to large, or you can type it in if you like a radius from 5 or 10 or 15 for example. The software also remembers the last radius. You see every connection you make, all the measurements are available, the radius will be shown, the length will be shown. Delete the lines you don't need anymore. Make your design so that you think it's nice. You can add several layers, you can rename all your layers. So every piece of you that you're finished, make it in the name that you like. You know what you're doing, you can know what you're searching it up for. You see, if you select a line on the right side in the drawing, on the left side in the list of the layers, you will see which contour it is. This is very easy, so if you select one line and on the left you click it in the box, you will automatically select the whole contour. It's just a useful function to help you select and to help you be a little quicker. You see the overlap of the first measurement. Delete the part that is not correct and make a new nice fillet of it, a smooth line. You see how easy it is and how fast you can edit it with very small differences, about 0.5 to 0.8 millimeters. Make sure you have all the points, so there are no hard corners in it, but only smooth, nice lines. Speeding it up a little bit now. The drawing, deleting the lines we no longer need. Create the parts you like. You can easily extend the line or draw a new one. If the a line exceeds another line, you will automatically create a snip point, so you can delete the outer piece and the inner piece will automatically stay in, like this. Closing the cutout. You see you can enter the radius you prefer, and you will see with the next corner he automatically takes over the 25. Just by selecting the two lines, it's very easy to make it finish. If there is a red dot in the drawing, you will see you have an open ending, so there's no closed line. So make sure before you finish all the red points are gone. Creating an offset, you can make it larger, you can make it bigger. Deleting the old lines, and you're already done. Repeating the same progress. You see, he remembers the old offset. Select one of the inner line, select the box on the left, and you can delete the whole contour at once. See, it's very easy to extend the line just by clicking on the side and extending it as far as you would like. Select the whole layer, and just by clicking once of offset, you can do the offset of a whole contour at once. Delete everything you don't need anymore. Make sure you connect the right lines to each other. You see most of the options come back repeatedly. It's just repeating the same options to make a nice shape of it. You see, nothing is speed up this time. This is how you can do it in real. This is the actual time it takes to edit. Make sure you create all the parts you need for making a pattern later. Creating the same radius again. Make sure everything is closed, no open ends. Creating all the necessary radiuses. Creating the cutout pieces. Delete the lines you no longer need, so nothing interferes with each other. Piece 2 is also ready. Also with this, you see it's still a repeated option. He still remembers the offset from the last time, so you don't have to keep entering the same size. Select the whole contour on the left side in the layer list. Press the offset option. Here you can select multiple layers. You will see the boxes on the left being black. You select all those boxes and you have selected all the layers at once that you need. Now we are creating the patterns. Once editing a pattern, once inserted a pattern, you can move it from left to right, top to bottom, align it just as you like it. You can also zoom in a little bit, see how you want to start with the line. Make sure it's a nice fit. By clicking once on the outside, you see like this, it's confirmed. Now it's set. This is the 2D, 3D mode. You can, just for visualization, checking if every line is correct, if you make no mistakes. Also very nice to show to your customers. You see on the left, it's very easy to select the layers that you need by first clicking on the line that you need. This helps you a lot in time. And also if you want to insert a profile like this, you can already tell the software what you want to do afterwards with it. Also select the cutout. You can edit all the cutouts in our library, give them the names that you like, give them the colors that you like. Select it all at once, only once you have to do the profile and all the contours are selected. Keep checking it with the 2D, 3D view. Is everything correct? Make no mistakes. Make a copy of it, rename the copy. Maybe this is the final design. Selecting one line of each contour. So you keep creating only the parts that you need. Rename it. Here you see the layers on the left. You can create an offset, but you can also enter the thickness of the material. It will automatically show you how it looks, what the height is. You can enter the solid options if you want to show the thickness, the see-through, maybe ignore some profiles. You can select it all in the top. And like this you have your overview. Check it very carefully. You can zoom in as far as you need to check all the measurements, all the alignments. You'll see all the details are shown if you zoom in really close. It's a very nice option. As you have seen, you can edit a complete decking in 10 to 15 minutes. You also seen how important the reference points were to align the drawings. You have seen to create the production pieces. You have seen how we insert the patterns, how we move them around and align them on the boat. Everything else we have made, you can show them eventually in the 2D, 3D view, on which, with the thickness of the material, is a very nice way of showing it to your clients. Here you see some very nice pictures of our already satisfied clients, of their work. We love to also see yours. So if you have some nice videos, if you have some nice photos, please feel free to share those with us. This was already our webinar. Thank you very much for watching. If you want some more additional information, feel free to contact me through our website, through my email, through my telephone. All the information you need, I'm happy to provide it. And maybe we'll see each other somewhere in the near future. Thank you very much.